Does it feel like your life is going around in circles? Does it feel like you're repeating the same cycles over and over again? Does it feel like nothing is changing? Well, the reason our cycles repeat, the reason patterns repeat, is because we haven't learned our lesson. Life is going to stay the same. It's going to be the same shit, different fucking day, unless you actually wake up and see the messages that the universe is trying to show you. Why are you repeating the same cycles? Because things are only repetitive if you don't see the message in them. What is it trying to show you? How do you break out of this pattern? How do you break out of this cycle? My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. Life can seem very boring. Life can seem like it's going around monotonously, the same shit every fucking day. Monday to Friday at work, Friday to Sunday pub. That's what we live. And that's what I used to live before I woke up. And that's it. Like, my life was toxic. My life was the repeated cycles. It was the same kind of fucking relationships. It was the same existence. And I used to live for the pub. Like, on a Thursday, I get paid and I go on the beer. Fridays in work were fucking nasty. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is how I lived. And it was like, literally, you're living for the weekend. You're living for this. And you, like, literally nothing seems to change in your life. The people are all the same. And you don't evolve. And that's what it is. You don't evolve. Because you're stuck in this hamster wheel of fucking life. This 3D matrix reality. You're going to continue to repeat the same cycle over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you wake the fuck up. And that's what I did. This is it. We don't listen to the nudges of our soul. We don't listen to the guidance from the universe when we're stuck in this bubble. And this is it. The 3D reality is a false belief system. We have been literally brainwashed and controlled for generations. We have been led to fear everything so that we will literally stay in this little bubble, afraid to break out of it in case we fucking die. This is what the society or the governments have been telling us for years. Don't do anything wrong or you're going to fucking die. Fuck off. Sorry. But Jesus, the system of control in this world is fucked up and it has been for generations. And if you're continuously in this repetitive cycle again and again and you're not breaking out of it, oh my God, do some fucking research. Sorry, but listen, seriously, like, I have been in that world and I know what that fucking world is like. Being unaware, being unawakened, being inauthentic, because that's what it is. You're a sheep following the crowd. You're a sheep listening to all that toxic negativity and let it seep into your soul. You're not listening to the guidance from the universe. And this is the thing, right? These repeated cycles will turn toxic, more toxic and more toxic and more toxic until you learn your lessons. You know, you question, why am I attracting all these toxic people? Why am I attracting this narcissistic relationship? Because you're choosing to stay asleep. And I know when we suffer from certain mental health issues or we're in this it's like you have blinkers on. It's like this conditioned cage, fucking darkness. Like it is like you're in a cloud. Like I've been there. Like you're in this cloud. You're literally, and I used to walk, like I remember being so depressed. I used to walk the streets with my head down, like, you know what I mean? Like people in my local town when I was younger used to say they were afraid of me because I had resting bitch face all the time. You know, and not because I was angry or anything, but just because I was like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't look at me. I didn't want to be seen because I was in this bubble. I was in this cloud. And this is what it was like for 30 years of my life. I literally lived in this cage. And it was like a grey cage. I was blinded and unaware to this fucking world. What is really going on? And it took for massive traumas for me to finally see the cycle. It took for a few fucking traumas. You know, I was in an 8 years in a fucking narcissistically abusive relationship, unaware that I was being abused until I had to go to therapy for a different trauma, which guided me out of that relationship. And then I ended up in another toxic fucking relationship, repeated cycle. And, you know, this is what happens. We just keep going back into the same shit again and again unless we actually say, what is going on? What can I do to change this? And, you know, it took me for a third almost narcissistic relationship. I knew a person for 2 months. I was going to let him into my life. And I was just like, oh, red flag, red flag, red flag. Like, he's a fucking narcissist. And I was like, I finally figured out, what's going on here? I thought I fucking healed. But yet I'm attracting a narcissist. My boss was narcissist at the time as well. So I was like, how can it just be the external world? What is within me? Why am I still attracting these people? Because that's, I fucking said, it can't be normal. There's no such thing as coincidence. So if you're repeatedly, you know, doing the same thing or repeatedly attracting the same thing, that's not a coincidence. That's a fucking hello, wake the fuck up, woman. Do you know, that kind of way? That's what it is. It is literally wake the fuck up. You know, and like if you don't listen to these nudges, the universe gets a grenade and throws them into your life. The universe doesn't want to punish you by any means. Hence why they guide you your whole life. But if you refuse to fucking listen, they're going to get louder. They're going to get louder. They're going to shake it up a little bit. Throw an obstacle in here to see if you wake up. That doesn't work? Wait for the hand grenade. Wait for your whole life to go up in shit before you actually listen. And this will happen again and again and again and again and again unless you fucking listen. If you keep going down the path out of alignment with your soul, you're going to have grenade after grenade after grenade because you're not fucking listening. You know, sorry, I get really hyped up when I speak about this because it breaks my fucking heart. I lived in that bubble before, and now when I see unaware people, like how did I live unaware? Like how did I not understand how I was feeling or how I was perceiving anything in my world? How did I not see the truth? And it scares me. It scares the shit out of me to look back on my old self and think how conditioned I was, how lost I was, how alone and isolated and invisible I was to myself even. Do you know what I mean? Not to be aware of what you're doing in your life, not to be aware of how you're feeling, not to be aware of whether you're living a life of your dreams or the life that society or your parents or your partner or your friends have dictated for you. Like, you know, like what was the quote I read yesterday? I want to want what I want and not want what I think I want. Because oftentimes we're living a life that we think we want because everyone else fucking wants it. That's fucking boring. You know, we're living this life dictated by our parents, dictated by society, dictated by the fucking matrix. Is that really the life you want, or is it the life you think you fucking want? You know, I wanted to be a manager. I was a supervisor in a factory. I loved that job, but my boss was a narcissist, so I ended up having to leave. But my intention was to climb that ladder. I wanted that. And then when I actually was forced out of it, it forced me to say, hold on now, I didn't want that. I was stressed to fuck. I was supervising 12-hour shifts, fucking heavy work. It was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? How I survived. And at the weekend, then I got no sleep because I was drinking and partying. I was so unhealthy. How I survived that was beyond me, but that's the life I thought I wanted. To climb the ladder to manager and to live for the weekend. And you're not really, you know, you're not finished. Like when you become a manager, you're not finished work on a Friday. You're working Monday to Sunday. And you're getting fuck all fucking thanks for it. And you're working, you're stressed and all that kind of stuff. So that's the life we think we want. And then we get it and it's not the life we want. Sorry, I'm rambling. Fucking, I get like this when I'm passionate about something. But my point is, what do you want? Are you living the life that you want? Or the life you think you want? Are you continuously repeating the same shit again and again, expecting a different result? Because that's not going to happen. Like that quote from Albert Einstein, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Nothing is going to change in your life if you keep doing the same shit every fucking day. if you keep living in that old false system. You know, when you're living out of alignment with your soul, life gets repetitive, life gets boring, life gets toxic, because, you know, you're hitting obstacle after obstacle. Like, you know, how do you feel? You know, like what I mean, like, you know, on the spiritual journey, we go through intense healing. So, you know, it's not fucking happy fucking sunshine all the time. Fair enough. But even though I might go through bouts of depression or healing or whatever, I don't feel dis-ease. Now, what I mean by that is when you hit an obstacle on your spiritual journey, you don't see it as an obstacle, you see it as a lesson, and you become grateful for it. So you take that in and you heal what you need to. But when you're in the 3D matrix journey and you hit an obstacle, it fucks you up. It fucks up your mind, it fucks up your body, it fucks up your soul. It fucks you up. And it's like everything is going wrong, my life is fucked. And literally, the smallest thing can send you over the edge. And it can actually affect your physical and mental health. Big time. Do you know what I mean? So, like, anytime you hit an obstacle on your 3D journey, it feels like the end of the fucking world. It feels like everything's fucked up and everything is going to go wrong and your mind is just... Whereas if you hit an obstacle on your spiritual journey, you're literally kind of going, okay, what do I need to heal? What do I need to learn? Because nothing is the end of the world. When you're on a spiritual journey and when you realise how the truth of your existence and that you're an all-powerful spiritual being, you living a human experience, that you're not ever going to end and that you can do anything you put your mind to. Nothing is a challenge, really. It is challenging, but it's not really, like, obstacles in the old world were the end of the fucking world. What am I going to do? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Whereas obstacles in the spiritual world, it's like, it's fine. Just step over that. What's this trying to teach me? What lesson do I need to learn next? It's a kind of, it's a helps your growth, because nothing is ever that bad. Because when we're in this fear-based belief system, we're afraid of death. We're afraid of everything. We're afraid if we leave the job, we're gonna die, or fucking we're gonna, I don't know, like that fucking mindset when we're in that 3D mindset. You know, I have to do this job. I have to have security. I have to do this. I can't go after my dreams because it's, you know, I'm just gonna fail. You know, I have to do it this way. And if I don't do it the way they tell me to do it, I'm going to the whole world is going to end. And that's how you feel. You're in this state of fear all the time that if you do anything outside of the norm, you're going to fucking die. And you're afraid of death, so you're fucking afraid of everything, like. And then, but like when you're on the spiritual journey, you're not afraid of anything. Nothing is the end of the world. Everything is manageable. Everything is overcomable. Is that the right word? That's a new word. You know what I mean? We can overcome anything on our spiritual journey. We really can. And it's breaking out of that old shit, like. So ask yourself, are you not seeing any change in your life? Are you doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? Because it's not going to fucking work. Are you going to stay in that box? Or are you going to listen to the truth? Because it's up to you. You have a choice to stay in that world surrounded by toxicity, fear, greed, lack, negativity, bullshit, and end up unhappy in this mundane cycle of life. Or do you want to break free? Do you want a life full of colour, magic, abundance, opportunity, love? Because if you remain unhealed, you're going to continuously attract this toxicity into your life. Because shit sticks to shit, like. Sorry, but like this is the way I used to feel about myself. I'm not saying that about anybody else. When I was feeling insecure in my low vibration energy, I felt like shit. And I attracted shit into my life. Shit sticks to shit. Anyway, I no longer feel that way because I am in abundance. I'm in love. I'm in love with myself and my life. Because I've woken up to the truth and I'm no longer in that fucking cage. And I'm no longer repeating the same cycles. Life is fresh, life is new, life is exciting, life is full of opportunities. Because I'm opening up to that world. And I'm no longer stuck in that 3D matrix. You know, and we're so afraid to leave that because it's all we've ever known. It's like, oh, I'm having fun. But it'll get to the stage where you'll no longer be having fun. Like, I'll describe this. Like, I used to be I am still the life and soul of the party, but I used to be the drinker, the drug taker. I would fucking take anything Jesus by. I was just, give me the drink. I was the one drinking at 9 o'clock the following, well, actually, I was the one drinking through the night and getting a can out of the fridge at 9 o'clock in the morning where everyone else is drinking coffee. This is the way I fucking lived. And I used to be around my friends. They used to be really uplift me. And I used to feel so good being in their company. And it got to a stage when I started to give up the alcohol that I was just like, oh God, this doesn't feel right anymore. It just felt icky. It felt uncomfortable. It felt like I was at this kind of dis-ease within myself. Something that made me feel so whole at one stage now makes me feel icky. You know, and that's how I knew. That's how I knew I had to leave that situation. It wasn't that I wanted to leave it. Of course I didn't. These people were all I ever knew. You know, these were my best friends. These were my soul family. But because I was evolving and changing and becoming the best version of myself, becoming my true self, I had to walk away. I had to let them go. But it's not that I had to. It's not that I wanted to. I literally had to. My health would have deteriorated if I'd continued in that situation. And the thing happened with my dad. The same thing happened with my dad, but because I didn't listen to the nudges from the universe, didn't listen to my soul or my body, I actually ended up mentally and physically very unwell, and I had a fear-based entity attached to me. It took me a long time to get back to myself after that. Because I didn't, that's the thing. I walked away from friends after a lot of warning signs about disease happening in my body, you know, and being uncomfortable. It took me a while to wake up to that fact. But I still got out before it did irreparable damage. Whereas with my dad, it took me longer to walk away because he's family. And because of that, my health deteriorated. So if we stay in these situations longer than we should, it's going to affect our physical and mental health, and we're going to be forced out. So don't let it get to the stage where you're actually forced out of that reality. Wake up. Become self-aware. Ask yourself how you're feeling. Why are you feeling this? Life gets easier when you understand and do some introspection and do that fucking healing. It really does. It really does. You can live in that dark cloud forever if you want. Or you can come out to the sun. Sunshine, rainbows, all of it. Do you know? There's beauty to be had in this world. We do not have to live in that fucking matrix fear-based system. That false system. And unfortunately, a lot of the people in our environment are going to stay in that system, and you'll be the only one to escape it. But you have a choice today. Stay in that system or be free. You might be the only one doing it, but you're going to be free. You're going to get to live authentically. And isn't that beautiful? To live in truth, to speak your truth all the time, to live and embody your truth all the time instead of putting on a fucking toxic mask to fit into your environment. Because that's what you're doing. You're literally wearing this conditioning. You're wearing this falsehood. You're wearing this shitty exterior persona to fit into a world that is no longer in alignment with your soul. Wouldn't it be a lot better to take all that shit off and just be you? To be true to yourself, to find that truth within yourself, and to embody that truth within your life. I know which I prefer. I will never go back to being unaware. Being self-aware, doing that inner work and that inner healing, escaping that 3D false reality is the best thing I ever fucking did. No matter how many roller coasters I go on now with my healing and ups and downs and lows, the healing process is hard. But staying conditioned and unaware is fucking harder. Staying inauthentic is disgusting. It gives me the ick. Ugh. Be real. Be you. Find your true self and find your true path. Live the life you want and not the life you think you fucking want. Don't live the life for your parents, society, and that old, icky, toxic system. And live the life that you want. To live life with an alignment with your soul and in alignment with your divine purpose on this planet. Because the more authentic you are, the more you can be authentic and helpful and of service to others on this fucking planet. We're here to change humanity, and it all starts with changing yourself. You can only break the cycle if you become self-aware. You can only break the cycle if you see the truth within yourself and know that you don't have to live like that anymore. Patterns are there for a reason. Cycles are there for a reason. They're there to wake you up. They're there to show you a message. Stop repeating the same cycle. Because the universe will just keep throwing grenades in if you do not listen to the messages from your soul. So listen, wake up and become aware. Because you do not have to live like that anymore. You get to live in magic. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.